Alright, so let me get this straight. You're a new asset. You're not the blue one in disguise. You're not my hydro drunk, lotion wielding self, correct? How about the dog? Do you only talk when there's commentary to be said?
It was then, at this moment, that Zio Agito realized that he messed up and it was time to end this bit. Back to you, Zio.
This week's Geats is brought to you by Death Flags Galore, with Mario being the top of the spotlight when it comes to the backstory being thrown in. Take a seat, it's time for this week's Geats. Keiwa continues to vlog, but we don't care since we are right back where we left off. It's Azuma raging at Ace regarding his wish to defeat all the Kamen Riders and storming off right into Morio. Having spent his desire money on that swap ticket, we get a shortly lived seed planted about him being able to feel his way to victory based on that paper texture. How short-lived was that seed plant? Almost instant. Since break times lasted so long, a quick Google search reveals to Ace that Morio is just a no-good casino cheat who took his earnings and fled, only to never be caught. No more time to spend on that, it's time to inform the players of the switcheroo. As to be expected, Morio ends up with Azuma as his companion, giving up the staff member and fan favorite Punk Jack to join up with boost giver Keiwa. It's now time for beach training time, building up some of that synergy between Keiwa and Punk Jack. Ace and Neon feeling a bit guilty for him being targeted like that. So what could likely twist that fortune around? Why, the boost buckle! This time it's Ace handing Keiwa the boost buckle back, but in fashion, let's all pretend to be shocked when he doesn't use it. Being told the strategy, Punk Jack clearly does not give a damn since he goes right into the attack since he doesn't have to do no stupid henshin pose. Spotting all this is Morio, who obviously cannot allow any sort of advantage to come Keiwa's way. The break time between rounds continues to drag, with a quick convo between Azuma and our boost-having Keiwa. Upset about the team change-ups, Keiwa doesn't want to pull the same dick move by buying the ticket himself, as he knows that there is a possibility he could mess up someone else's dynamic, and he's just not that guy. Though the conversation is cut short when a crafty sheep slides their way into taking back the bull. What does Morio have for Azuma? Why, Keiwa's boost buckle, of course. Didn't even have time to give it away this time, it just got took instead. Though the man really should have taken the boost for himself, but that was his first mistake, since he gives it to Azuma instead, relying on others since he's too much of a bitch to properly do it himself. But with the pawns all placed, and an odd laughter later, Ace walks on up, throwing everyone on their guard. With Morio leaving, that leaves Ace to completely disprove some speculation we had last week. It seems that Ace does remember meeting Azuma in that one DGP, and he knows exactly why he hates him. We flash back to Toru getting beat up by an elephant and gazelle looking Kamen Riders. I don't know why their points aren't being deducted while doing so, but they clearly beat the shit out of Toru. They snatch up his zombie buckle, leaving him to fall victim to the Jamato. Now, with Azuma in the DGP, he's vowing revenge on all the Kamen Riders due to the death of his friend. Time for Ace to add fuel to the speculation fire that he's actually been around since the time of the ancient Greeks by quoting Plato and his mantra. Boostless Keiwa cries at the fact that he's lost his buckle yet again. Though with Morio hamming it up, it's Azuma that comes out admitting that he's got the buckle and it was indeed stolen. However, to get it back, Keiwa's gotta earn it. We're back at the beach where Azuma is burying the DX boost buckle, which is terrible because that's gonna be held to clean later. Whoever is left holding the buckle wins it, so they run for it. And in a jump that clearly looks to favor Morio, but next frame, it's Keiwa who's got the buckle. But what's this? Morio isn't gonna go down without a fight and tosses Keiwa's salad as if it were Caesar and snatches right back up the boost. After spending 2/3 of the episode's time fighting over some boost,
it's now time for this week's matchup, the finale of the matching Jamatos. The flip-flop to our pair-up square-up, let's take a look at our contestants. First up, it's Nago and Geats, returning victors of the last round. They are here to keep those crowns on hand. On the other side of the map, it looks like it's first come first serve on these Jamato, since it's 4v2 on this card platter. It looks like the first one on the move is Mary, dealing out some sweet moves with the ball and chain combo. I honestly didn't think that this man had it in him, but if you've seen his henshin pose, he's clearly used to some back alley JoJo style brawls. Buffa must have a bad case of rigor mortis because the zombie ain't moving. Punkjack, on the same wavelength, proves that he's only good for practice matches since his ass is as stationary as a rotten jack-o'-lantern. Tycoon, on the other hand, plays defense with his arrows. Oh wait, what's this? Buffa has made his move. Using boost, he's gotta go fast, dragging the Jamato into rival territory. But the confidence Azuma has here is great, since he's so far up his own ass that he goes the other way, getting a sweet ride and landing a finishing combo with Tycoon? I did not see that coming. Did you?
Well, see, I personally thought that...
It doesn't matter what you think because this right here is raw as fuck symmetry people tuned into. With that dual finisher, it seems that the points have gathered for the team, not team. Does this make any sense? Oh shit. Gotta run.
What? You're just gonna ignore the Sumidi bit? Okay, so Sumidi shows up to explain that right before the match, Azuma played his own hand at the lotto, and ended up re-teaming up with Keiwa in the process.
Now, back to the action!
Wait, what's with you and Sumudi?
We don't talk about that. The drama on this field heats up to scorch. Since Mary wants that buckle back. Should have used it in the first place, but it looks like using the finisher triggers its exit sooner than anticipated. The current score is 200-0. But with the remaining Jamato in Geats and Nago's court, it's time for a good old-fashioned combination attack. Geats taking on Nago's hammer buckle, revolving on with Magnum. We get two head-ass action this week. What a great time to be alive. Launching Nago into the air and pulling out the leg pistols. They run a full train on the remaining Jamato, snagging up those points. This game's winner is Team Step Up with 600. Tycoon and Buffa land in second, and in last place is our little lamb with the pumpkin.
Look who's holding the board.
Oh shit, that's my cue to exit.
I have questions. Anyway, with the score set, that means Mario gets disqualified this go around. Citing his revenge, it seems that there will be none. Getting disqualified from being a writer actually isn't as bad as you think it is. Since Keiwa, always being nosy, asks what happens to disqualified players, they just go back to living their old life with zero memory of the DGP. And it looks like zero shot of making it back into it either. With this round over, it seems that we are already at the end? The hell? Yeah, it seems that next week is the final boss of the tweak, meaning that the end of this DGP is already in 2 weeks. That's kinda quick. Rating time! It seems like if you aren't our dynamic squad, you are all but doomed to failure, with Mary exiting just as soon as we got to know him. There's also a bit of a seed plant in here that I will get into in just a moment, as well as Keiwa still being without that boost. Speaking of boost, this episode is gonna go ahead and get the Boost B! The major takeaway from this episode is that disqualified players get the luxury of returning to their past lives, no matter how cursed that life may be, like Kanato's lack of playing b-ball and Mario's run from the law. But the ones who are beaten in the game lack that luxury, since Old Man Takahito did not get to return home. However, speculation, if you will, regarding Ace. Remember, so far, the only nuggets that we've gotten is that he's looking for someone and going as far as becoming star of the stars just to get noticed by whoever it is that he's looking for. So, hear me out. There's a very real possibility that whoever Ace is looking for was a former DGP contestant that he met during it, got disqualified, but with no knowledge of the event, has no idea who Ace even is. But since he's stuck in the loop of the DGP, he's cursed with the memories. And since there are no dual winners in the game that we know of, he's got the misfortune of being forever alone. To everyone thinking that Mario was a shady individual, we got a clear backstory just in time to write this guy out, which personally I don't like. There's not enough time to let these characters sit and ferment before taking them out like that. Makes me wonder if later on down the line, we get to revisit all these characters to see how they are dealing with reality. This episode also managed to shed more light on Azuma's backstory. Sadly, Toru was not another bull-themed writer, as it appears that it was just Sonic the Hedgehog before the art style change, getting beat up by fellow writers that I'm still thinking are staff that could make a return to the game. After all, it didn't appear as if those players lost any points by attacking him to begin with. The only offset to that theory is the fact that they spoke. And as far as we know, staff are instructed not to do so. But it could be a situation that because of those two in the past, we have that rule currently. The end of the DGP is already on its way in, and it's literally just been 7 weeks. So there's room for so many more games between now and the finale that will require a major shakeup unless we stay with this stale formula. So what are your thoughts on this week's Geats? Morio's demise and return to a life of crime. Keiwa getting his boo snatched up. Azuma isn't really that bad of a guy. And the staff and their role in all of this, especially knowing that they have no stake in this game, and if they lose, they're alright. Anyway, that's it for me. Go heat up some meat for the next Geats, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.